Hey, mothers and daughters, I've got a very special show for you today. And the reason the show is so special is because today Barbie movie comes out. I got a surprise here with my story time. I'll save it for last, but it's all about Barbie today. I even have my pink on that says mother daughter ish, but got my pink on and we are ready. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the show ready so that we can talk about Barbie. I'm going to bring some information to you on the history of Barbie. I am going to also bring you some information on maybe if you're going to go and see the movie, for you to just kind of let us know if you're going to go and see it. And I'm hoping that all of you do go to see the movie if that's something that you're wanting to do. But let's go ahead and get the show going. Welcome to the Mother Daughter Ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. All right. So as I said, our show today is all about Barbie. And I wanted to make sure that you have everything in your information bank so that you can either get involved, or it could be somebody who's just having their first daughter and they want to know what type of dolls. I'm so glad that we have evolved past just one type of doll, because this was my favorite thing. You can see it's never been taken out of the box. It was a collectible that has literally been sitting up in my closet since 2001. Yes, this was purchased in 2001. I'm going to give you a story time on it. And then I want to tell you where you can go and buy this doll, because I will be selling it. It's already up for sale right now. So let's talk about Barbie, and let's talk a little bit about the history, and then I'm going to go into the story time. I'm also going to share with you all the things that I had when I had my Barbie. And the reason I'm going to share with you all those things that I had when I had my Barbie is because I want you to see what a diehard fan I really am of Barbie. Now, you may be wondering, I wonder if she's going to go and see the movie. And the answer is that I am not going to go and see the movie. I'll get into the reasons why I'm not going to go and see the movie, but I'm encouraging you that if you want to go and see the movie, for you to do just exactly that, because that's what you want to do. You'll see me putting my glasses on and off because it's just going to depend if I can see what I'm trying to give you the information on. So let's get into it. Barbie is absolutely one of the most iconic toys that was ever around. It started because the lady that created it was a founder of Mattel. And her name, I'm going to tell you her name. Her name is Barbara, and her last name is Handler. First thing when I saw the name Handler, I thought, well, is this a relationship to Chelsea Handler, which used to be on the Chelsea Lately show? And I was just like, well, it could be, relationship to her family or something like that. But she used to watch her daughter play with paper dolls, and this gave her an inspired idea. Isn't it interesting how things can happen in life and it gives us an inspired thing that we want to do, to create something new, to build something new, to formulate something new? I think it's just so creative. And what I'll tell you also is that I love that now you can go into the store and you can find other dolls like the Brat dolls and like all the other types of dolls. And I've even started seeing, coming up to the launch of this movie that came out today, July 21st. I love that I'm now seeing people use all the open AI tools that they can use to actually create their own type of doll. And I see nothing wrong with individuals creating a product that represents their community and their culture. Because when I was growing up, I probably had and still have my old dolls, and only call them old because they're at least 40 years, 50 years old, could be, maybe 45 years old. And none of the dolls that I had looked like me. And my favorite Barbie, because I had the Barbie for everything just about, and Ken. I had a few Kens, black one, a white one. I wish that back then there would have been really more representation, because I would have loved to have had a doll that represented me and represented my community and looked like me. But I think when my mom went to probably buy my dolls, she didn't even think about it. Like when I bought this doll for my daughter, I was not thinking about what the doll looked like. I wasn't thinking about what race the doll was, what color range the doll was. It was a Barbie. It was a New Year's collectible. And I went and purchased it thinking, okay, this doll went on sale December of one year, 2020. My daughter was going to be born in February of 2021. And I thought this will be a great collectible so that down the road, she'll have this doll as a collectible. And maybe somewhere way down the road, she could actually even earn a little bit of money off of it or something like that. Cause that's what I'm holding on to my dolls for. I'm holding on to my Michael Jackson 78 that I have back there. I'm holding on just for the right price, and I'll know when the right price is there. But I think that it's very admirable that someone within the Mattel company decided to create a product that has lasted for so long. Barbie is so popular and such an influential doll that when I looked up how many, just for fun, how many jobs that Barbie actually had, it said that as of today's date, they can't even count because there were so many Barbies that came out. So I went to OpenAI to ask that question and they couldn't even answer the question. So I thought that was really funny. Now, the the creation and the launch started with Barbie in March 9th of 1959. Now, listen, my daughter, my oldest one, Angelique, that started the podcast with me, she was literally born March 8th. So when I told her about this March 9th, she was just like, oh, because I tried to buy her Barbies as well. And for some reason, my girls just, for whatever reason, they were not into Barbie. It just was like, whatever. They did not care. It was not, a big deal to them. I was way more excited than they were. Again, it was an inspiration by Ruth Handler, who had a daughter named Barbara. I think I might have mixed that up the first time, but Ruth Handler was inspired by Barbie because her daughter Barbara. So you get it, Barbie, Barbara, and that's how she ended up creating this product, and she named it after her daughter, which I think is really awesome. I almost started when I was looking into it. I said, I wonder if the little girl is still around. It was in 1959, so easily she's still around. So she'd probably be 70 something years old or almost 70. But I would just be so excited for a family member to have made some type of, product that was, it was debuted as a teenager. Now Barbie now I have teenage Barbie, which I used to then call the daughter or the sister or something. I have the grown Barbie. I have the younger Ken, and I don't know if he had a different name. Everybody was Ken and Barbie, and I didn't really name them. The only Barbie that I had that I remembered the name for that I cared about was my Brooke Shields Barbie. For whatever reason, I always thought Brooke Shields was beautiful. She always had thick, beautiful hair and eyebrows. And I just thought she was just such a gorgeous girl. And so when I got my Barbie, that was my Brooke Shields Barbie. Even today, listen, I didn't even let my girls touch it or play with it when they were young, and they wouldn't have cared anyway. So, Barbie, when she had a signature ponytail, she really did have a cultural impact. And the reason I'm going to stick with that is because girls like me, I don't know about every girl, but girls like me, we really did not care what color Barbie was. We really didn't care if it was a white Barbie. It could have been any type of Barbie. I never thought about it. It never crossed my mind. I never questioned. I never asked my mom, did they have a different type? It was not a factor in my life. That's why when you talk to folks like me who don't get it, we literally don't get it, because a lot of what's considered so conscious thinking and politically correct, it was not a factor when I was growing up. It wouldn't have mattered what the doll looked like. You just wanted a freaking doll. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never the baby doll girl. I never wanted babies, so I was not going to be having a baby doll. I was 18 years old before I thought, well, I guess I probably could have 1 or 2 kids or something. Then it went to, I think I want 6 girls. And then my mind was like, well, if I have 6 girls, then each one of them could have all these Barbies, and then we could have Barbie parties all the time. So that's where my mind was. It wasn't on what the doll looked like, but these new kids, let me tell you, they will break you down in a minute to let you know they are not interested in it. Now, although they couldn't figure out all these jobs that Barbie had, but you and I know Barbie had every job Barbie could have been making. Barbie had every job. And my favorite accessories for Barbie, other than the clothing and the little high heel shoes and the sunglasses, the purses, the jewelry, I used to love putting the jewelry on Barbie. Other than that, my favorite accessories that I had for Barbie was the cars. I have the big one, the little one, the convertible one, the Jeep one, still have it today. After all these years, still have it today. And then the Barbie house. Even my youngest, I bought her the Barbie house that's like 3-4 feet tall. Never been taken out of the box, never been put together, never, nothing. But I said one day when that daughter moves out of that room, I may just make that room just a collectible toy room, because I have some really cool things that I could put in there. But, you know, I always thought that buying the collectible Barbie would always be a good idea, simply because, let me get my glasses. Simply because it would just be good to have something that's a collectible, so that kids can later on maybe make money off it. Like I have all my 48s and 78 records back here, because someday somebody's going to offer a lot of money for them. I've already been offered nearly $56,000 for my Michael Jackson off the wall. And then the Beat It, somebody offered me 70-something thousand dollars on eBay, but I took it down years ago anyway. What I loved about my particular Barbie is that it was very, you could bend the arms and it made that noise. You could bend the knees and it made that click, click. I just loved, I loved everything about the sound of it. It's kind of like when I used to have my old BlackBerry phone, and every time you would be down, it would be going, it just was so awesome. And so that's how you could always tell the real Barbies from the fake ones, because when they started making the, what I call fake ones, they were plastic. And so my doll felt like silicone skin. It felt really nice. But the plastic ones they make now, the reason that you know that those dolls are not going to last is because if you bend them, then that plastic just kind of, their leg will just kind of be limp or whatever. So then you'd have to have a Barbie on crutches. Barbie's boyfriend, well, I should say her longtime boyfriend, because I never saw them got married, was Ken. And so he was introduced in, it just says that they reunite. It was introduced in 1961. So if she was debuted as a teenager in 1959, she must have been debuted as a 17 or 18-year-old if she got the first boyfriend in 2000. So listen, I don't want to start adding up ages and then everybody get mad at Ken and try to do a little Me Too on Ken, because we're not having that with Ken or Barbie. I don't care who they are and what they've done. But I don't know if you know this or not, but the Guinness Book of World Records in 2009 named Barbie as the most celebrated doll because it became their 50th anniversary. You see that? So Barbie has been around for a long time. I don't know why neither of my girls, I had one daughter born in 1994 and another daughter born in 2001. They're worlds apart, and neither one of them cared for Barbie. I would love for my youngest to have said, hey mom, let's go and see the Barbie movie. Then I would have took one for the team and I would have gone to see the Barbie movie, even though I've complained to her why I didn't want to go and see it. And I'll tell you all those reasons after I give you my story time, or before. But Barbie has had just about every job you can think of. You've had the school Barbie, you've had the working Barbie, you've had the princess Barbie, you had all types of Barbies that have been out there. You have the international Barbie, you've had the real life type of Barbies, you've had all kinds of Barbies that you can look back at and be like, well, you know, Barbie is pretty cool. And she really is. I still love the whole notion of Barbie. Now, I don't like some of the rappers and different people that have tried to label themselves as a Barbie and all of that, because no, Barbie is Barbie, and no human I've ever seen really fits the bill. just simply because when I see Barbie, I just see more of a innocence and not all the stuff that we see today. So that's my information for you on Barbie. So now what I would like to do is to just give you a story time. First of all, I probably have, as far as collectible Barbies, I probably have maybe about 30 or 40. I've got a couple of Kens and a couple of little guys. Like I told you, I have tons of clothing, shoes, jewelry, and my dolls all snap, bend. They all do. And I really love that. So I don't even take them. I thought about going into my garage and I have them all packed down, and I would have had to take plastic off and do this because they are absolutely wrapped up and really, really good. Matter of fact, I played with my Brooke Shields Barbie so much that right now, if I tried to put a comb through her hair, I would not be able to. And again, that Brooke Shields doll is at least 40 years old. So no, I wasn't gonna go and dig all that stuff up because I would have had to really use this whole room to just lay everything out. And I thought that would be a little bit weird even to myself. I don't care about what anybody is saying. I just think it would be just kind of weird to go and have to dig that stuff up. So anyway, so here is the collectible Barbie that I bought for my daughter several months before she was born. It is still in the collector's box. You see, it is still in the collector's box. And this is what the Barbie looks like. So this is what Barbie looks like. This is her. This is her. This is her. This is her. Very, very, very gorgeous. Beautiful box. It was a Barbie New Year collectible item. You see, right there, it says New Year right there. So I bought this for my daughter. And I don't remember where I got it from. I believe Toys R Us, because that was the hot thing back then when my girls were little. So I bought it at Toys R Us, almost had to fight somebody to get it, begged and pleaded. And when they saw how big I was pregnant, it was like, yeah, okay. And I was telling them, this is my second daughter. And I didn't get to get one for the first one. And I had a story, honey, because listen, I was getting that Barbie. You understand? I was going to get that Barbie, and it was only a few left and about 20 people trying to get a Barbie, and everybody was just kind of reaching down and grabbing it. So I reached down to grab it at the same time somebody else grabbed it, and I just gave them a look like, you gonna take this from a pregnant lady? Funny, I know. But I bought it for my daughter. I put it up in my closet, and I said, well, whenever she gets to the age where I feel like she's ready for a Barbie, then I will give her the Barbie. And I thought that maybe 3 or 4 would be a good age, because at 3 or 4, they're formulating words. At 3 or 4, they're curious about what everything looks like. At 3 or 4, I figured her brothers would be 5 and older, and they wouldn't try to take the head and throw it across the room or break the legs and toss those. I just felt like, 3 or 4 for her would have been safe because she's the youngest, so everybody would be older. So when she was about 3 or 4, I gave her this doll, and I just told her all about this little doll, and we were just having a good little conversation, and she just looked at me like, no. And I was like, well, why not? So I just took the Barbie and put it back in the closet. When she got a little bit older, maybe about 9 or 10, I took the Barbie out again, and I said, do you remember this Barbie? I said, this was a collectible item, but if you want to take it out of the box and you want to play with it, that'll be fine. I can buy other Barbies so that, because Barbie needs friends, because Barbie likes to go on play dates, and she likes to be cooking in the kitchen. If you got the real house, she likes to be driving around in Malibu. Barbie got that one. She wants to bring around, her cousins, which was the little Barbie. She wants to bring her dog. I had the dog. She wants to bring everything. And then Barbie had luggage. So she had things to haul around. And so I had all of that. And we could have literally spent hours creating stories for Barbie, which is what I used to do when I was young. I would create stories for Barbie. So for me, forget about what Barbies they sold in the store. For me, Barbie was a teacher. Barbie was a housewife. Barbie was a Malibu girl who loved the beach, because she would get in the tub. You understand? We had serious Barbie fever when I was a little girl. And Barbie was a nurse. She was a doctor. Barbie was everything. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it there. Barbie was everything in my world. And then all of a sudden, the Bratz dolls came out. And my youngest daughter, Peyton, came to me and said, That's the doll she wants. I understood why. Bratz looked like her. Bratz had hair like her. Bratz had a shape like her. Bratz was her. And she was a brat. She was absolutely a brat. They say the youngest is always a brat, but because I'm the youngest, I'm going to deny that for all of us that are the youngest. Hint, hint, deny it just for us. But she said that she wanted that brat doll. And I said, okay, I'm going to buy her a few brat dolls. And I brought her a group of brat dolls so that, I believe dolls should have friends, because if the dolls have friends and then you're playing, then that means you're occupied with your friend. You don't have to be bothering everybody else. And you know how it is when you have older brothers and sisters, they're not trying to fool with you. I went through the same thing. My sisters would go into the closet and be playing, or they would go into the bathroom together and talk girl stuff. I have no idea still today what was going on in that bathroom. They never let me in on that secret. They would go places together outside that I couldn't go. They would go to the movie, do whatever, and I couldn't go to the mall. I couldn't go. So I understand needing those doll friends, because ain't nobody else trying to play with you when you're the youngest. Okay. So when I got her the Bratz dolls, she was like, you loved Barbie. You can have this doll. I don't want the doll. And I was like, but the doll has never been taken out of the package. She's absolutely gorgeous. She said, you can have that doll. And I don't ever want it. I said, well, what if it becomes a collector's item later on where you actually make some money? She said, well, good luck, you can make some money. I don't want that doll. And she never touched this doll. She never looked at that doll. She never did anything with that doll. So I did that for my daughter, not for me. The oldest one never, ever, ever played with Barbie. She did not care for it. She actually was more of a baby doll type of person than she would have been a doll. So I didn't bother buying her dolls. She liked Cabbage Patch for a little while. They like those what's those stuffed animals you can go and get made in the go to the mall and you can stuff them yourself and name them. And she liked that type of thing. She liked more baby dolls, but never did they like the relationship. It was a whole relationship for me with the Barbie. So when it came down to her saying you can have it, I literally put it back in the closet. It wasn't until now that I realized that the Barbie movie was coming out this weekend. I want you to see this box has dust on it. It's been in my closet for 20 something years. 20, she's gonna be 23 in February. So it's been in my closet for 23 years. Okay, almost 23 years. So 22 and some change in my closet. It's dusty. I'm gonna clean it up because I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna just wipe it off and sell it. And so I'm not gonna put it with my collector's items, because although this Barbie, I haven't touched her, so I don't know if she bends and snaps. I have no idea. I'm not even that curious to find out, because the friends that I made with my Barbie, those are my friends. These are your friends. It's kind of like when my sister and I were growing up. If I had a friend, I don't want my friend to be your friend. So when one of my friends became her friend, I was a little very salty about that. Like, don't be friends with my friend. I'm like that when I was younger. Now you can go and be friends with whoever you want. But when I was younger, if you were my friend, you have no business being my sister's friend, because we ain't the same age, even though we're just a year apart. But it always seemed to me like we were 5 to 10 years apart, because I didn't think that my friend should be her friend, which was so petty. But guess what? The age that I am now, I have realized super petty. I am so petty, but I like it. I'm not working on it, but I acknowledge it. So there you go. So anyway, I put this back in the closet. Here it is, 20 something years later, 22 years plus later, and I pulled it out because the Barbie movie was coming out this week, and I debated, did I want to go and see the movie? And I came to the conclusion 3 weeks ago, coming up to the hoopla. No, I didn't want to go see the movie. And I only have one reason why I don't want to see the movie. And it's my personal opinion, so I have the right to it. But I don't want to go and see, and I won't go and see the Barbie movies, because although we're represented as 2 to 3 sprinkles in there, we are not equally as represented. And so I would have gone to see it, though, if Barbie met the Bratz, if they became friends and they did like this whole Barbie Bratz World thing. Oh yeah, I would have went without anybody's kid, without my daughter. I would have went on my own. I'm a person that likes to go to the movies at 9 to 10 in the morning, just like I went to go see Mission Impossible. If you saw that show, it was amazing. Go back 3 shows and you can see my Mission Impossible review. But if if Barbie World and Bratz World would have had a reunion debut type of meeting, because look how social media is right now. They could have met on social media. Let me just put the whole movie out. So if Barbie met Bratz, they could have been on social media. They could have been doing clothing hauls. One met the other. They get together. They do this whole social media thing, these stunts and all of these things. They get together and then they decide to have a big expo, represent your world, represent my world. They have this big expo, this big world renowned thing. Women from all over the globe, every nationality, every culture come together and they just do this big thing. When I tell you, I would have went to see that movie. I would have went to see that movie. And the reason I would have went to see it is because I would have felt more inclusivity. Yes, I know Issa Rae is in the Barbie movie. Yeah, I know. I know that there's another girl that's in the movie, and I know that there's a gentleman that's in the movie. Not enough representation, because even when I went to look for the cast, I had to scroll and scroll and scroll. And then I saw Issa and scroll and scroll. And then I saw somebody else. And I was just like, I'm not going to go and see it simply because of that. That might sound petty, but I already told you I was. So true confessions, and there's nothing we can do about that. So I'm not going to go and see it for all of those reasons. And I'm actually okay with it. You see this beautiful Barbie that's on the page? That's the Barbie that my daughter would have wanted. That's the Barbie I wish I had, but I don't. So all I'm saying is some people really take this serious. I take it serious. It's a thing, and you can either get it or you don't. But that's my show on Barbie today. I gave you a little story time, gave you a little history, gave you my opinion. It's mine, I own it. And I'm glad that I have my pink shirt for the Mother Daughter Ish show. And that's my show for today. And I want to say thank you for listening to me rant, and have a good time talking about Barbie. Have a good time sharing my girls' stories. If they find out that I'm sharing their stories, they're probably not going to be happy about it, because they really just can't stand when I get to talking about them. But oh well. But that's my show for today, and hope you enjoy the Barbie movie. And that's it for today. Until next time, you know what I always say. Bye.